Morning, Satya.
So what happened, Imtiaz? He's connecting.
I don't have any information about him. I'll ask him.
Oh, sure. So guys, in the last class, we started with load option, right? You remember? Last class, yesterday's session. Okay, so yesterday I loaded the data also. But guys, what is the load option loaded? It will transfer the structure along with the data. But once the load was completed, whatever be the new records posted in the you can't find in this what I say the same lane. To the right, you will find this. No, you can't mention once. Sorry. Okay, so load option you'll get the data directly, but once the data is loaded, okay, it won't have any like if you have new records after loading, so that will not be posted into HANA, right? But I told you SLT gives you real-time replication. Okay, so whenever you have a new record, that has to be posted into HANA system. So for that we have an option called replicate option. Okay, so we have an option called replicate. This is very important. So the replicate, what does the replicate do means? If you click on replicate, what happens? First one, it will go for load option. First it will load the data, which is nothing but structure plus data replication. First it makes sure it will replicate the structure and as well as data. So now you have the data available. Means now both the tables are in sync. Am I correct? Then the real-time replication should start. Yes or no, guys? Suppose I'm not loading. If replication does not load, have a table in ECC which is having 1000 records. Okay, now just replicate. What does the replication do? First, it will get the structure, all the 1000 records. Now both the tables are in sync. Once both the tables are in sync, then it will start the real-time replication. Means whenever you have a new record, 1000 and first record into the source table, that will be automatically replicated to HANA. For the real-time replication to start, first make sure both the tables are in sync, same structure and all the data available. So if you click on replicate, what's the first step happens in the replicate means replicate has an internal loading. You click on replicate, what happens? First load will be in progress, then load executes, then the real-time replication starts. So first the load option happens, structure plus data loading. Second, what happens means, okay, triggers will be activated and log table gets created. And okay, triggers will be activated and log table gets created. You click on replicate, first it will activate the triggers and then create the log tables. So they are used for real-time replication, guys, and the real-time replication starts. So what is the use of a trigger end? I already discussed in HANA database sessions. Go back for triggers. Huh? Trigger has condition and an action. Go back once, you'll see it. You guys able to see this, right? Go back with your notes for the triggers class.
Immediate actions in a row or a column is called as trigger.
So as trigger has a condition and an action. Once the condition gets satisfied, action will be taken immediately and automatically. That was the trigger. Am I correct? So here, guys, this is if you see here, I have a table in SAP sources model. Listen to me, guys, carefully. Please listen to me, just for 5-10 minutes. Keep everything. Listen to me. I have an app. See, guys, generally SAP tables we call it as application tables. Okay. So suppose I have a sales table. This application table I just call it as sales table. I do have a sales table for suppose. And guys, what happens once you click on replicate? Once you click on, let's go to the HANA Studio here, in the data provisioning. So finish. Once you click on replicate, what happens? The first step is load happens, right? In the replicate, I just pick a table called BSAD, an accounting table. I just pick that account table and add. So guys, once I add that accounting table and say finish, what happens means, yeah, I just refresh once. Here you have the replication has been scheduled. Am I correct? So what is the first step under in the replication? It will take some time and sometimes minutes per time, but the BSAD replication has been scheduled. So I have the schema SLT underscore EC6. అయిపోయినట్టు BSAD వచ్చేసింది. So the application has been scheduled for BSAD. ఇంకెంత టైం పడుతుంది? Now you can see what is the status now. Loading process, yes or no? And I told you, right, if you click on replicate, what's the first step that happens? That will be loading always. The first, make sure you have the structure and data available. So now I can see loading process, then refresh, load has been executed, completed. Once it was completed, log table gets created, trigger. You don't see it in status. Log table gets created and trigger will be activated. And then you can see a process called replication in process. Then you get the status called replication in process. Now you can see it as replication in process. Trigger was activated, log table was created, and the replication came to in processing. So what is this status and I see here? Guys, what happens means once you click on replicate, what happens for this table? I have this table, sales table for suppose. I just want to replicate. I want to have the real-time replication for this table. What you do? You click on replicate. Once you click on replicate, first the table structure will be loaded into HANA along with all the data. Then what happens? Trigger will be activated, log table will be created. As I told you, trigger has a condition and an action. Okay. So what will be the condition? And if anyone inserts a new record into the application table, that is the condition. Okay. After insert into this application table for one row, that's the condition. Then what is the action? It will write the data into that log table. And if you insert one record into a sales table, a record will be inserted in the log table. You remember triggers class, and you remember, guys? I guess everyone remembers my triggers class. The people connected online. Frankly, how many of you remember it? Okay. So once any user comes and inserts one record into application table, then triggers condition is satisfied. It will write the record into log table. Okay. So what is the log table contains means log table contains all the primary key fields plus a timestamp field. Yeah, sure. Guys, what is the structure of a log table now? It contains all the primary key columns under just a minute, please. What is the structure? What is the structure of a log table? It contains all the primary key fields under your application table and a timestamp column and an additional timestamp column. So other than that, so if you click on replicate, it will go for loading first, structure plus data loading, then triggers will be activated, log table gets created, and the real-time replication in process starts. So what is a trigger? And a trigger has a condition after insert into application table for one row. If anyone inserts one row into application table, then what does it do? It will take an action that it will write the data into log table. What data it will write in the log table? Sure, no. You have an idea, right? What is the data that is getting written into the log table? Guys, your log table contains all the primary key columns under application table and your timestamp and a timestamp field. Operation flag under that I'll discuss later and a timestamp field. So means for suppose I have a sales table with 10 columns, out of which primary key column is document number and product. Document number and product are primary keys. The remaining 8 columns are normal keys. Now a log table will be created with document number column, comma, product column and a timestamp column. Okay. So now whatever the record inserted, first suppose the record inserted was 1001 and product was A. Okay. So it will write the data into the log table. This trigger will write the data into log table under product number, document number 1001, product A, and at what timestamp this record has been written. Like May 14, 2018, 5/14, May 14, 2018, 88 hours, 45 minutes, something, etc. Okay, clear? So it will write the primary key column data plus timestamp. Once the log table gets the data, once the log table has a record, and then the system will have an immediate identification. Then SLT will identify that a record was inserted into the application table. Okay. Now, if you get a new record in log table, then SLT will have an identification that, okay, that a record has been inserted into the application table. So it immediately hits the application table, identifies that record and extracts that record from application table into the HANA system. Not from log table, and that SLT will not extract data from log table. It will always extract data from application table because your log table is not containing all the columns, containing only the primary key columns, right? it will, once the data was updated in the log table, it will directly hit the application table. SLT will hit the application table, identify that record and extract that record into HANA system. This everything happens within a second, 1 or 2 seconds. You insert a record and click on enter. Data will be written into application table. Immediately trigger hits and write the data into log table. Then once we have the record in log table, then SLT will directly hit the application table and immediately writes the data into HANA system. That's it. This everything happens in 1 second max. This entire process. Clear? Clear, guys? Okay. When you have a recording in log table, it will hit the application table and read the data from application table into HANA, not from log table. But what is the advantage with the log table? And guys, now reading from application table and identifying that particular record from application table is not a small thing. For suppose I have an application table with 1 billion records, 1 billion, not million, 1,000,000,000 records for suppose. Identifying the record, identifying the new record from that 1 billion records will be very, very huge stuff. Am I correct? Yes or no? Identifying your record from a billion records is a huge stuff for SLTM. So in that case, log table will be used, guys. Okay, how it will be used at a, as the log table will get the primary key columns. Am I correct? So there will not be no two records can have the same data in primary key columns. Am I correct? No two records, I repeat, no two records in the table can have same data in a primary key column. Yes or no? Can you have another record with same document number and same product? No, right? So now the SLT will have a complete idea on what's the record that was written, because the SLT log table has primary key columns. Everyone in the class? Adhoduna. And if suppose I have a record with 1001 product, it will now it has an idea. Okay, so the record will have document number as 1001 and product. So it will directly hit that record and extract into HANA system. Okay, clear? As the log table has primary key columns, data will not be repetitive in primary key. So now SLT will have a complete idea what was the record that was inserted in log application table. It will directly hit the application table, directly goes to that record and incorporate that record into HANA system. Clear? So this is what we call it as real-time replication. This is how your real-time replication works. Other than everyone in the class, it's clear? It's clear, right, so far? When you write in your record in application table, trigger will immediately hit, will be activated, and it will write the data into log table. Once the data was written in log table, then SLT knows that a record was inserted in application table. And what is the record entail? It can easily identify based on primary key data. So it will hit the log table, identifies the primary key. Okay, then immediately hit the application table, goes to that record and immediately extract that record into HANA. Data extraction always happens from an application table, not at all from log table, because log table doesn't contain all the records. It contains only a primary key column data. And once the data has been extracted into HANA, the data will be deleted from log table directly. Data will be deleted from log table straight away. Okay, clear? Once the extraction is completed into HANA, data will be deleted from log table. So this is how the real-time replication works under SAP HANA. Okay?
Satish, yes, okay.
Yes, Satish.
So the DB triggers, like we need to write, or it's predefined?
System will automatically write the database triggers and log tables. That's what I'm coming there. Actually, we no need to create any trigger and we no need to drive any log table. So system will automatically create the triggers and log tables and activates the triggers also. Okay, that's completely the system activity.
So in case of even the custom tables also?
In case of?
Custom tables are like, let's take user defined own tables.
Any table.
Okay.
Any table, Satish.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, it should be database table also. This is the starting. That I'll come back again. So you got an understanding, right? What exactly the replication, how the real-time replication works. Okay, that I'll show it in a practical way, guys. No need to worry. So the people who are absent for this class, please copy this diagram and as well as the notes. Please copy it, please. It's very
So in
very
the meantime, like,
everyone's notes and
sorry.
okay, no excuse at all. This diagram, only this diagram. There. Copy this diagram, please. Copy చేసుకున్న వాళ్ళు okay. If not copied, please copy. It's very very important, guys. So please copy the diagram. Once you're done, let me know.
Satya, on the SAP SLT replication server.
Yes.
So mapping and transformation engine. Like
Transformations, I'm coming, Sadish. I'll go step by step. Let me first focus on replication, then I'll focus on transformations. So a lot of classes left in SLT.
Okay. No, what I mean is like you are now covering like replication, right? So I thought like even the replication server has been completed as part of this.
I'll speak about transformation. You done? People connected online? You done?
Yes, Satya.
Okay. So this is how your real-time replication works, guys. Uh, guys, not only insert, and even if you change a record in your application table, even that records will also be updated into the. For suppose you change a record, even that record has to be changed in HANA. Okay. So your what is your primary key columns contains? I'll show it better. HANA's. Yeah. So you can see, guys. Once the replication is in process, guys, it will be in process forever because you can't stop it. If you stop it, your real-time replication is stopped. Okay. So it won't be, there won't be end for replication. It will be always in process. If you don't want to replicate now, okay. Uh, I say like, guys, if a table has the status replicate in process, then only the real-time replication is enabled for a table. If it's in any other state, then there is no real-time replication for a table. So you can see these many tables were getting replicated now. Okay. So what it is, if I want to stop some tables, okay, some table, for suppose a lot of tables are getting in real-time replication mode, it's causing the system hang. The system is getting hanged, right? So I just want to stop some tables which are not being used now. So what I do, I take the option of stop replication. I just take the option of stop replication. So here I just write some tables. I select some tables which I want to stop. I just add these tables and say now click on finish. So the replication will be stopped for these tables. So refresh now. Come down, stop has been executed. Slowly getting executed. Here you can say stop has been scheduled. So refresh again. Refresh, stop getting executed. One by one, one by one. So we successfully stopped. So there is no, now once you click on stop replication, what happens? Okay, triggers will be deleted. Log tables will be log tables and triggers both will be deleted now. Okay. Stop. Okay. Stop packet maintenance. So guys, leave it off. Stop. I'll discuss once replication process on it. So I click on replicate and say take the option of Z sales input. I just take the option of Z sales input, guys. I just take the table now. Say click on add and say finish. I'm replicating a table called Z sales input. Push. I'm replicating a table Z sales input from ECCN. The replication is in schedule mode. Guys, you have to wait and always at least for a minute or some 40 seconds for the replication to start. I can see load has been successfully executed. Once you click on replicate, what's the first step? It will load the data. First, make sure structure and data is loaded. Then, if you click here, refresh again. Keep on refreshing. So here I have the Z sales input table. Right click and say open content of this table. It has around 16 records, right? Huh? If you go to SLT and refresh, now the replication process, so real-time replication started for this table. If you go to ECC, what I do is now I'm going to my ECC system. I go to the transaction code SC16, and SC16 is the place where I can see the data and also write the data into tables. SE16, if you want, you can copy. T code is SC16. I go to the SC16 transaction code, and here I just write Z sales input. I just go to the T code and give my table name Z sales input SE16, E for elephant. I give the table name. Here number of entries was 16, same. All the 16 records has been inserted. So click on enter, so you can see all the 16 records. Here we have 16 and even in HANA also we have 16 records, guys. Now what I do is I insert one more record into this table. Now the real-time replication is in process for this table. Am I correct? Now what I do is I try to create one record into this table. So I take the option of create material number. I choose any material number. Say okay. I choose this material number 2450. Plan 0001. Date. I go with today's date. Creation and delivery date, both I'm giving same. So amount I just take it as 989. Planned amount 785. So I just give these two amounts. I'm writing one more record. That's it. Okay, I'll say now insert that record. Now database record has been created successfully, right? So you come back. Now you see how many records, guys? You just refresh once, please. You see now 17 records. With your record was present here. This is our record. On again. 5/14/2018. Am I correct? 2450 our material number. And then it is in material number ascending order. That's why it came here. Okay, so 989 and 785. This is the record we inserted. Am I correct? In ECC. Now what I do, I just go to my HANA table and say I don't do anything. I don't do anything. Say refresh. You have your 17th records posted here. So you just create the table. You write. When the real-time replication was in process, you just write a record. You just refresh here. You see the data here. Okay. Other than that, this happens within seconds. So I'll write one more record. You want if you want, I'll just write one more record also. I say no. You select anything. I'm writing a random record. That's what record I'm writing. You can ignore it. What is the record you created? Here, this is the record, right? Concrete JSON, HANA 912 and 712. So now if you go here, refresh once, now you can see that record here. If you insert a record, that record will be automatically inserted into this HANA list. Here in this 3000 miles record, it is 50 and 50, right? I change it to 100 and 100. ECC table, I just go here. I take this record and say now take it as edit and change it to 100 and now it is 1000 and 1000, right? So I just go to my HANA Studio. Refresh once, sorry, not 1000. Here you can see it as 100 and 100. Even if you update the data also, that will be automatically, even if you update the data, even that will be automatically updated in the HANA system. Update in the sense change the data. Okay, clear. Other than that, if you insert the record there, that will be inserted into HANA. If you update the record there, that will be automatically inserted. So this is what we call it as real-time replication in HANA using SAP. Okay, this happens only if your table has a status replicate in process. Okay, clear? Everyone in the class? The people connected online, is it clear so far? It will be in process. There won't be any end. You have to manually stop it if you want. Okay. So guys, what happens means the trigger conditions can be any of these. After insert an application table for each row, then insert into log table with primary volumes data, current timestamp and operation flag. Operation flag and it will say whether it is insert operation, update operation or delete operation. So even deletions also gets updated. I'll show you. I'll try to delete a record. I delete this record 2029 with February 16, 2018. I delete this record. I go to table entry and say now delete this entry. Come back again. Now if you refresh, it will be now 17. You go to HANA system and refresh now. First, before refreshing, you have this record, right? Okay, 345 and 543. Now you don't have it. Refresh. Do you have that record now? That record will be. And whether you insert the record, whether you delete the record, whether you change the data in ECC, that will be automatically updated in HANA. Because your trigger can have three conditions. It might be insert condition, it might be update condition, or it might be delete condition. But you have only one action. What happens whenever you have delete, update or insert, the data will be written into log table. Okay, with all primary key columns data plus timestamp and what operation it is. Operation flag means if it is I, then it is insert operation. If it is delete operations, if it is U, then it is update operation. Operation flag I will clearly discuss on tomorrow's session. Okay, so these are the conditions and actions you have in triggers generally.
Satya, can we see the log table ones?
Log table stickers, I'll show it, Satish, in LTRS class. Okay, so you guys want to copy? Please copy. Huh? Okay, please do copy, guys. Once you're done, you can leave for the day. So in tomorrow's class, we focus on stop, resume. I need 2 minutes options. Stop, suspend, resume, and data loading from LTRS. Maybe I'm not sure tomorrow, and it may take 1 or 2 hours to complete SLT. Next session or 2 sessions.
Yesterday the classes were given some fixes from the master data and the tables. Fixes we have to remember that.
Just have it listed down.
So now you're performing all of the tables standard tables. So begin that is stored by default or we need to create our own.
So they are present in ECC. Okay. If you want to use, you can use my table Z sales input.
Yes, yes.
Z sales input is the table on which I'm working now.
It's used in the real time.
Copy this, please.
Satya, curious question, please. Let's take if some requests are coming from a web services
From?
to the SAP system.
Okay.
Web services to the SAP system as a source input.
Okay.
So how can we do
Web services to?
SAP system as a source input?
That is a
Let's take we want.
That's a different concept altogether, Satish. Web 2 data that I'll discuss, maybe not now.
Okay.
SLT will not
So
support.
this is only with. Okay. So this is only with. Flat files, SQL loaders, and other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Please do copy and you can leave for the day.
SLT configuration and load option is computer.
Huh?
SLT configuration is
Hmm.
and load option.
Hmm. Complete. Saturday and Sunday. Sunday was a session. Yesterday also we had a session.
If there is a structure change in the table application table, it will also trigger.
If it is a structure change, you have to again stop the replication and again you have to replicate. If there is a structure change, Ramana, you have to stop the replication process and again create the replication process so that you have a new trigger and new log table again.
Okay. Okay.
Variable content is in
Operation flag I will discuss tomorrow.
variable content.
Log table. Log table.
Can you mention?
Yeah, you can mention. Operation flag I'll discuss in tomorrow's session because till now I didn't show you the log table, right? Once I show you log table, you can easily understand. I guess slowly your confusion levels were decreasing, I guess. Maybe in tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you'll have a complete understanding of the subject. It's completely theoretical. Practical, you better do it tomorrow. Not today. Don't go for SLT practical today, we'll do it tomorrow. Practical is hardly 5 minutes earlier. Click on load, get the table as well. Click on replicate, get the table.
The tables only, yesterday you showed me that only tables you have to take, right?
Okay, so the people connected online, thank you all. Have a nice day. So the first working day. So enjoy your working day, guys. Tomorrow we'll meet at 8 o'clock. Thank you very much.
What about PW?
PW 10 o'clock. 10.
10.
10. Same time.
Thank you.
Mukesh Ambani.
ये वैसे क्या है? कॉमन है।
Okay, the people connected for 9 o'clock. I'll connect in a couple of minutes. I'm closing the session as it recorded. I'll connect back. Or I'll do this pause.